welcome to
Native Honor Hour.
Hey, that's mine. Welcome to Native Honor Hours. I'm Ed Zendejas, and my co-host is
Cindy Krafka.
Oh, we have a great show for you today. Like we have a great show every time, but this is even better.
Because your brother Gary's going to be on.
Brother Gary Farmer is going to be on. We're going to be talking about his new TV series that he's on.
Which, if y'all haven't seen it, is really good. It's called Resident Alien. It is a broad-based humor. It's perfect escapism for the times we're in. I'll tell you what, a movie show about an alien pretending to be human was just what I need. And surprisingly, Gary's not playing the alien who pretends to be human.
No, Gary plays a very, and we'll talk to him about this. He plays a very loving, wise, sage father figure.
Sweet, kind.
Comforting and fixing his daughter breakfast and sitting there reading a book. It's like Mr. Rogers, kind of.
Indian style.
So it is. I would like the series, even if Gary wasn't in it. But I got a phone call from my son, who lives in New York, and he said, "Hey, I saw an advertisement for a TV show with your friend Gary Farmer in it." I said, "Yeah." So it's getting out. So I'm.
So it means Gary's getting a paycheck.
Well, I hope he's getting a fat paycheck, and I hope this leads to other gigs for him. He deserves it. So
it's on I think it was on USA and Sci-Fi. So if two networks are carrying it, you'd think.
Well, I'm getting it through the Sci-Fi network.
Me too.
And maybe we can ask him what the deal is on that. But so how was your week, Ben? Did you?
I don't know. It feels like last week and the week before and the week before and the week before have all been the same. I'm ready to butterfly out of this cocoon.
Do you just look out your window and wish and daydream?
I wish it was spring so at least I could be outside. It makes it way worse when not only can you not be around your grandkids, kids, but you can't be outside. I organized my lipstick. I mean, that is going just a little too far.
Did you sign up for your vaccination? They're doing over 80.
Oh, and you know what? For once in my life, I'm too young for something. I'm 62. If they're saying they're going to do 5 years every week.
You've been 62 for the past 10, 12 years, Cindy.
And I'm still better looking than you.
Yeah, but I'll always be younger.
Months younger. Hey, maybe you should bring that picture of you in high school and show it on the air with your mullet.
No, that was big. I told you that was Freddie Prinze hair. Remember that?
I loved Freddie Prinze. I remember Freddie Prinze.
Yeah, that was cool back in the day.
Didn't he die young?
Yeah, he did.
Suicide?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
But I've seen pictures of you too, so don't be pulling that card out.
Hey, I had no mullets. My hairstyle was the exact same hairstyle it is now.
Oh no, you had that
500 pounds less.
You had that perm going there for a while.
That's called curling iron. I gave that up too. When you're 40, you just say enough. The hair's gonna do what the hair wants to do. It was like when I was in college. Remember Farrah Fawcett?
No, I don't remember.
And everybody was doing that Farrah Fawcett, big hair. This stuff doesn't do it. I could sit in curlers for 6 hours and spray it, and within half hour, it was like that. That's when I decided to adopt the Cher look.
So while we're waiting for Gary, are there any Indian things out there this week you caught your eye?
It looks like the tribes are being very good about vaccinations. I see it all the time. Got people on the res are getting vaccinated, probably 10 to every 1 here, that is.
Well, I'm all vaxxed up.
Was your second shot hard?
No, the second shot, for those of you kind of on the fence about what you're gonna do with the shot, at least the ones that I had, my experience, you barely feel the needle going in. It's just minimal pain going in. Where the where the pain comes in, and this is full disclosure, is afterwards. It feels like someone hit you in the arm, with a knuckle punch. And it lasts that way for at least 2 days for me. And sometimes it's hard. It's hard anyway, when you get older reaching for stuff. But other than that, on the second shot, and this was what's so difficult too, because they said, you could be a little bit more lethargic, you could get, maybe a fever I remember one morning it was a little bit more difficult for me to get out of bed. I felt a little bit clammy, but like I said, I feel that way most mornings anyway. So
Still better than COVID.
Yeah. So it wasn't bad at all. So if anybody is on the fence about, whether I should take the vaccine, whether there's, and granted, everybody's side effects are different. So, but with me, I have nothing but good things to say about.
Well, they said the same thing about polio shots. Who wouldn't get a polio shot? So why not a COVID?
Look who's here with us.
Well, Gary Farmer, how you doing?
I'm all right.
What do you mean, all right? Look at that. He's got a cool hat, got some cool You're looking good, brother Gary.
Where's the powwow? Where's the powwow?
Oh, we don't have a powwow this year, man.
Not this year either?
Yes, they're doing an online powwow.
What?
Online powwow.
Virtual powwow.
Gary, we were talking about the shots. Have you got the shots yet?
What shots?
For COVID, your inoculation?
No, I don't have a shot. I have a friend who's he's a scientist. I think he's 77. He just got it. But I guess they're at 77. I'm 67.
They're at 80 here.
Cindy might be pretty close.
10 years of waiting here.
No, Cindy's pretty close because it's over 80, and I think she's right on the border.
Zendejas, I know where you live.
I think if she goes in there and take one look at her, they'll probably say, come on in, you're qualified. Come get a shot.
Kenny, can
But
you
I noticed
mute him?
a lot of IHS Indians have gotten it. So
Yeah.
but I am a Canadian Indian in the view of IHS that we don't count.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. The reses are doing really well at vaccinating. That's because they get the vaccines right from the federal government. They don't have to beg the MAGA governors to give them the.
I'm sure Deb Hyland will change that, right, Deb?
I hope so. I'm so excited for her to get sworn in. Can you imagine watching that day?
Did she make it, or did they crumble her?
They're still rumbling, but you know what? Biden promised, and we'll wait and see what kind of president he's going to be. He promised Deb Haaland. He promised better relations with the tribes. If he backs out on her, it's going to send a bad message.
Yeah, well, they're used to that.
I'm pretty sure she'll get confirmed and she'll be just so. I'm not worried.
If not, we should put Ed in there.
I know. Why not? Put you in charge.
Department of Interior.
So Gary, we were talking about your TV show. We love it.
Oh, good.
I was saying. No, go ahead. I was saying we get to see Gary as a loving, wise, comforting sage of a father. So it's Cindy said it must be a stretch for you.
I'm not gonna lie, I did. But you're very cute doing it.
Yeah, I give it my best efforts, but little do you know, Miss Cindy, little do you know.
Something's coming.
That was
Your
just
daughter's beautiful in the show. Your daughter and granddaughter are beautiful girls.
Yeah, Kaylala is the actress for my granddaughter. Yeah, she's fun.
What,
As
you
so
wanna-
is Sarah. Sarah's an interesting girl for sure. She's very good in the show, I think. Eh?
I think so too.
Yeah.
Gary, you want to set the premise of the show up for us? Cindy and I have seen the 3 episodes you sent us. It's very well written. Very well done. And if you want to set it up, we'll let you do that.
Well, it's kind of based on a comic book by the same name. And Chris, the guy who developed the comic book to be a TV series, is, he was like the lead writer for Family Guy and stuff. So he's got a good sense of humor. And he executive produced that show for a while. But yeah, it's great to have him. And then Alan, the lead actor, is an alien who comes to Earth with the intent to destroy Earth and, well, its people. And so by mistake, he kind of crash lands here and assumes the identity of a human being, but he took a life to doing that. And the show takes off from there. And he ends up being a doctor. And the life he took was a medical doctor. And so he assumes that role in the community and supposedly in Colorado, a place called Patience, Colorado. And there's a whole community there, including a native family that was my stepdaughter was the nurse to this doctor. Well, there's another doctor. It's a little confusing there, but he becomes the doctor after her doctor friend passes in the first episode. But there's a lot of characters around that story, and there's a lot of sub stories from that story that make it very interesting. But my daughter being number 2, it really does delve into, as you'll see in later episodes, into our native community, which is, apparently Ute community.
Yeah.
So
how did you get the part?
I strangled a guy, and then I had to put him in the river. I don't know. I just auditioned, and I was lucky.
It's nice to see a show with natives where they're just part of the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're real people that are just part of the story.
Well, within the 10 episodes, he does take a trip to the res.
Well, that'll be good.
It's kind of a fun episode. So we'll see.
When did you film these, Gary?
We started last November. They shot that pilot, which was the first episode, like 2 years ago. And then we started last November. Well, they probably started like early November, and they went all the way till COVID hit in March 19th or something. And then we resumed and finished the 9th and 10th episodes on September this year. So it's taken that long for all of us. I mean, not so much me because I wasn't in the pilot. So it's taken a couple of years to get it this far.
Is there any word on season 2, or is it too early to tell?
I just heard from the showrunner today. He really appreciates my work, and nothing yet, I don't think. He'd let us all know. He's really cool about that, to stay in touch with us and all.
I think, though, judging from people who have just randomly talked about it on Facebook, that it's really popular. People are really getting into it. I think sci-fi has a built-in audience that, they'll watch something new and appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're a bonus for that network because I tried to watch some of that content, because the show was going to come on that network. So I started to watch that network a bit, and I have a hard time hanging with it. So I think it's a welcome addition to it, but it is tied to NBC Universal, and also what's his name's involved, Amblin Entertainment, who is the Third Encounters, the guy from that.
Spielberg?
Yeah, is it Spielberg? Yeah,
I think it's Spielberg.
Yeah, that's Amblin's his company, I believe. So they're involved too. So.
Well, here it's also on the USA channel, so it's on two networks.
Oh, we're on the USA channel?
Mm-hmm. That's where I saw the first one.
Oh, cool.
You know what, Gary? After our show today, it's just going to blow up. And
Wow.
Your ratings will go through the roof, and There'll
Yeah.
be a sequel, and they'll write a, you'll get a sequel out of this, I'm guessing, because of
You mean 10 more viewers?
our vast audience that we have, and we put the word out. You're home free, Gary.
Well, when we started it, I thought, man, this is pretty fresh. It's really funny. And Corey Rounds, I got to hang out with him some. Like a lot of them are comedians. Like Alice, she plays the barmaid.
I like her.
They're stand-up comedians, and well, Corey doesn't do much stand-up, but my little buddy is the mayor.
Snowflake.
Snowflake. He's from Alaska, and he's got a real Alaska vibe. We kind of trooped around. I took him on the Indian Road, the Indian Trail over in Vancouver there. So he's
Where did you film?
Yeah, that's where we shoot in Vancouver. Yeah.
How come Canada?
The dollar's really good. So, and then, at the time I asked when we were shooting through that period, it was a long period. There was 89 shows being shot in Vancouver at the time.
Wow.
89 productions. So you can imagine the sophistication of the crewing, like just to have that amount of crew and quality crew too. I mean, we had a quality operation. And so it's a real hub, Vancouver. And, they got the mountains, they got the ocean, and there's a lot of native people around. So, it's kind of fun. I like it there. Working there, it's great.
I like the twist in some of the characters, and one of the components was the little boy. There's a little boy in the show.
He's the third one.
Who can
really
see?
Yeah, they went through 3. They loved the guy who did the pilot, and for some reason he wasn't able to come back. And so they went looking for another, and then another guy came, and he didn't work out. So then they got this guy. So the mayor and his wife, they had to shoot the stuff 3 times to get those shows, because I think the other fellow was involved in a couple of episodes, so 2 or 3.
The kid they have now is perfect.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Well, the part of that I like is that to set it up for people, this young kid about 10 years old, is the only one so far anyway that sees the alien in his true character as an alien. So he sees him as an alien while everybody else sees him as this human life form that he's taken on, and so it lends itself for a lot of good writing, and a lot of I've enjoyed that aspect of it. I've really enjoyed that. Is it Sarah Tomko?
Yeah,
your daughter. She's really good. I've enjoyed seeing her work. I think done a great job in this role, and I think I think she'll do well. I mean, it's been fun to watch this so far.
Yeah, we have some great scenes coming up, Sarah and I, because of that, stepfather-daughter relationship. It comes into play more, and so she's very talented and a wonderful human being too.
So what do you expect from your character in the coming episodes? Is it
come on, Ed. Gee.
You can't divulge his secrets.
The interesting part of that was I think it was episode 2 where you see right through him. I don't think I think you sense there's something different with with the alien character that I think most people don't get a sense of.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting because my experience and a lot of the work I've done over the 45 years as an actor, they're kind of in our cosmology, in our pictographs, in our storytelling from 100 years ago. They're there, and and the deeper you delve into, our spirituality, I think you find, it helps you answer some questions sometimes, I think, in life. That whole thing about Native America, it's more accepting of the unknown than most people. They got to know everything. So I don't know. I think there is for me anyway, there's certainly been a relationship, and I always felt it only makes sense in a lot of ways, because the world's such a big, the universe, the star system is so large, and we lived by it. And I love those stories too from Maori, that how they charted. They believe that they're the bravest and the strongest because they went the farthest from others. So charting the stars to sail that ocean, that vast Pacific Ocean, is really I always admired that.
What do you have any other sitcoms or any other movies lined up? Are you in negotiation with that you can speak of?
Yeah, we're supposed to do this big retrospective. It's a 6-part series for the BBC called. It got canceled a couple times now because of the COVID, but it's a very scoping, interesting version of early history, post Trail of Tears, maybe 50 years, and where a lot of things have been established, in terms of Native America and their ability to survive, if not on a reservation, but out there on the land with all the others. So it's a pretty fascinating series, and I'm happy to be a part of it. There's a big star woman attached, and she's the only one announced. And so we're supposed to do that in Spain.
Wow.
In the plains of Spain.
Maybe we should go to Spain and do a show from there, Ed.
You need a legal advisor for that. Let them know.
I'll do your makeup.
I'd hire your daughter before I'd hire you.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Ouch, man. Gary, I thought we were tight, man.
I wanted someone that's objective, though,
Oh.
Kenny, we're going to have to edit this part out of the.
What are you doing on the radio?
I'm having a lot of fun. I think I sent you it. I don't know if we can play it or not.
We can't play it on this show, but we're going to plug it in before it goes on TV.
Oh, good. And what are you going to do? Well, it's playing. Just going to comment on it?
We'll let Ed. Maybe you could tape something.
Kenny's our editor. He'll figure it out.
Well, I did do some B-roll, but I think I erased it all already, of actual location of that place is set. But I can get what we do with it and send that to you. How much time do you have?
The show's an hour. And
no,
we're on every Thursdays. Yeah, we're on every Thursday from 4 to 5.
I see.
Well,
so you add pieces to this part, like you'll just take the best of?
This is Facebook Live, so the whole show is going to go on to the TV, but Kenny can edit that clip in. We can't figure out, or we can figure out how to do it on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm still
but
working.
On TV, it's different.
Still working on the live stuff. So right now, like this is just going out as is. But like for the TV show, when we do the TV, it's on Mondays at 7:30. I edit this stuff to put on there, so I can edit in clips or whatever. And if you send me a promo, I can also put that on the KPOW.
Yeah.
Can you edit Ed out?
I could edit it out.
I'll send you our B-roll, Kyle, if you send me an email.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work great. And if it's a long clip, I can put it in like at the end of our show or something, like 5 minutes or something. I can do
I think I'll send what we edit of my shooting and the B-roll that would match this piece that I sent to the gang.
Yeah, that'd work great.
So what are you doing? Do you have a show, or what are you doing on the
We
radio?
have this show called Film Talk Weekly. It's a 1 hour on kind of film talk, about what's going on. This week, of course, the Golden Globes, and then we got the Screen Actor Guild Awards, and then we got so we got different segments, and then we interview filmmakers and people in the business about different things. The last two we had an independent documentarian, and this week we got a narrative filmmaker woman from Santa Fe who made her first film, and we screened it at our festival here in October. So it's an extension of the film festival in a year-round situation, and of course, each of our knowledge about the current situation. Like Chris Eyre just got a big film deal to tell a story of the first graduate from Harvard University, a Native American guy. So they're telling that story, and some large Native American actor, I don't know him that well, and is announced as the lead. He's also one of the producers of the film. So there's a lot of interesting movement in terms of Native America and Hollywood and Amazon and Netflix and etc.
So how can we watch your show?
What shows this?
Listen, how can we listen to your show?
Oh, I think it's on YouTube. I'm just new at this network. I think it's santafe.com should link you to it.
Kenny, can you find it and put the link on our page?
But it's called Film Talk Weekly, and it's brand new. It's on Twitter. I think it's Film Talk Weekly on Twitter there.
Who do you co-host with?
His name is Jacques Paisner. He's the the driving force behind the film festival here in town that we've both been a part of since its inception. Yeah. So we're in our 13th year this year.
So where are you now?
I'm in my my little house. This is my girlfriend and I live here, and then we're just moving to her she just bought a house.
Well,
So
that's nice.
We're moving soon.
Are you still down in the Santa Fe area?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy here. There's a great creative community here, and it's close enough to, it's the least populated state in the union, and I like that. And there's a lot of, mix of people here, a lot of Native America here, and I like that. And, so like I just did this project with Cara Romero, who's a star photographer. I graduate, but doing some of her work with her was really interesting, mostly on stills. So it's really interesting working with an artist like that in her new series that she gets around the world. That's where she's at, in terms of her career and such. So it's really wonderful to work with talent like that, and I wouldn't often get an opportunity to do that, and living on the res, I guess. I don't know, but the reses are all around. In fact, Tsuki, which is the first res closest to Santa Fe, has a film studio now, Tsuki Film Studio, and they just shot that movie, the new one of Tom Hanks there.
The one where he was saving that little girl?
Yeah, what's the title of that?
I don't know, but boy, it was good.
That was a Western kind of movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It just came out. It's in this theaters now. Yeah, my friend from the 70s wrote the novel.
Really?
Yeah, she worked with us in an early theatrical production in the 70s. She's an Ozark mountain girl, but I don't know what she was doing up in Sioux Lookout, Ontario, which is way up north, of you guys, due north. But Yeah, so that was interesting that it ends up shooting over on Tasuki. They shot all over Tasuki lands there, you know.
It was News of the World was the
News of
name
the
of that
world.
show.
Yeah.
And it was another movie that natives were presented in, but they weren't the predominant part of the story, so they portrayed them incredibly well, I thought.
Oh, and News of the World?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
The little
Paulette.
girl was trying to get, the little girl had been stolen by natives after they killed her family because her family had killed theirs. And so she's always trying to get back to the tribe until one, I kind of call it a Trail of Tears scene. It's really an excellent movie if you get a chance to see it.
Yeah, she really hung with the natives back in the 70s when I was a young actor. Paulette Giles. I remember her like, you know, it was yesterday. She was a very distinctive character. And she wrote some comedy scenes for our stuff, our theater production with Graham Greene. They co-wrote some stuff together. You know, we're all in our 20s back doing that work. So it's very vivid now.
And Cindy was in her 40s.
Don't laugh at him, Gary. It just encourages him.
Hey, Gary, how's the Troublemakers?
You know, we were going to start rehearsing online, but I've been busy. I worked with that Mary Catherine Nago on her story. You know that author?
No.
Yeah, she was actually here in Omaha for a while.
Yeah, she's a lawyer. Yeah,
She's an attorney, yes.
yeah. You should read her play. There's a lot of legal ramifications because it is again around that Trail of Tears.
I went to one of her plays she wrote on Standing Bear.
Yeah, yeah. This play
Here in
Sovereignty.
Omaha that I went to.
It's called Sovereignty, and it's really good. And there's an interesting company called Theater for a New Audience out of Brooklyn that's been developing it. So I just hope it gets a big run when everything gets better. I'd love to be a part of it. You know, I spoke my own language in it, Cayuga. You know, in the production, I have to learn Cherokee. But you know, I love doing that kind of work. Oh, I'm also our film got nominated First Cow. Me and Lily Gladstone are in that film for a brief time. Do you know Lily?
No.
Yeah, she's from Missoula originally, around that way, and that movie First Cow was really kind of a dreamy film.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, there's a few native scenes in that, and me and Lily play in that. And the Cowboy and Indians magazine gave me a Best Supporting Actor nod for that portrayal in that scene. I speak carrier language, right? Like that was like a trade language from around that Portland region. So that it's early history, you know, like literally when a first cow came to Portland. So it's I think I'm not sure if it's the first cow in America or not, but the filmmakers
It says it's on Hulu.
Yeah, Hulu, yeah.
First Cow on Hulu. So if y'all have Hulu.
Yeah. And then I done another film called Cowboys, which is all about, you know, the transgender storyline with a young girl who wants to be a boy and who is a boy. No, how do you explain that? But yeah, that's a really popular title coming out called Cowboys.
Wow, you have been very busy.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think it's well, you know, as you get older and you survive, the longer as the actor, if you can still do the work. And I really work hard to keep myself in shape, doing whatever I can creatively to keep everything working. I think the older you get and you're still able to perform, then you know there's some good days for you old timers if you can hang in.
How's your cousin Graham doing?
You know, we lost the dear. You know, we lost our cigarette king. The late Mr. Ken Hill's gone.
Yeah.
He was a big motivator. He brought me and Graham together once or twice a year. And now that he's gone, I'm not sure what'll happen. I wrote him on the issue, but I never heard back from him. You know, his health is always challenging, so you just never know with Graham. But I think he's still working. As long as he can breathe, that they'll hire that guy. So
Yeah, the last film festival we were supposed to do with West Studi, if you remember that.
yeah, Wesley's doing good.
We sort of got, we haven't done a film festival since the last time you were here, Gary.
Yeah, Wesley's got a new animated feature out, right? Did you hear that one?
No,
No.
huh?
Yeah, I'll have to look at my notes. Send me an email. But search Wesley on his IMDb. It should give you the information. But he's got a new animated that's doing really well, by the way. I can't think of the title at the time.
I can't remember titles and names. I'm good on everything else, but I don't remember titles or names anymore. Maybe it's just not important.
Who is this lady?
We're gonna have to edit that one out too, Cindy. Man, Gary, I have to say we miss having you come around. This whole pandemic thing has thrown everybody for a big loop.
Yeah. Well, I think it's been good for us all, I guess, if you can look at it that way.
How?
Certainly give me opportunity to look inside a bit more than I normally do, or kind of slow down a bit, which has been really good for me.
Which
And,
would have been nice for a month or two, but a year, it's
Yeah.
time for it to end. We all need to emerge. I
Well,
need to hit the road,
unfortunately, it's out of our control.
which makes it even worse.
Well, that's when you find the zen of life. That's where your maturity as an adult and living as a human being as long as we have should give you that patience now to be able to withstand whatever comes our way,
So you said Cindy and you said should, not with her. And you mentioned maturity.
Well, a lot of us are anxious. Obviously, there's a lot of anxious people in our world, and they don't know how to, find the center for themselves. So I don't know.
It
I
helps
think,
when you talk to kids. When I talk to my kids and they talk about being trapped in the house and how the kids are driving them crazy, I think, maybe I do have it well.
yeah. I mean, it's tough to be having a young family right now. I'm sure, with school age kids. I mean, but that puts us back a couple hundred years, when that was the reality, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's we are able to fluff off so much responsibility in the modern world, and now we're not able to. So I just think it's a good thing for the earth. It's allowed the earth to recover some too, environmentally. So there's a lot of good things that come from it, I think.
Yeah. Well, you have to look at it that way, or I mean, what's the other lens?
Yeah, drive yourself nuts till it's
Yeah.
over, and
Yeah.
that's a long time. So
Yeah. And we've lost so many friends that all we just keep thinking is the rest of us got to stay here so we can come together when we get out.
yeah, that's for sure. You never know when your ticket's pulled. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just not going to go out there and force it.
No.
But
Those
it'll be
earrings-
spring soon and that'll be better. If I could go outside, it would be better. It's so cold here, Gary. It's so cold here. You can't go outside.
I think we're at 55 or 59 today.
We're at 23 right now, and that's the high.
I don't know why we're so warm, but it's been really nice this week. Yeah, we're at 43 now, but that's still pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, I've certainly enjoyed watching your show. It's been good. It's well written and the acting is top notch. I think the main character, who plays the doctor, I remember him from the movie 42,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
where he played the racist coach or manager, and was really terrorizing Jackie Robinson. That's where I remember him from. But I think he does a great job. I think the entire cast has done a great job with this, and I've been really impressed with it. And I think you'll do well with this. They need to expand your character a little bit more. Hopefully that happens. Is we see any of that in the future?
Well, I think my discussions with the showrunner is that, yeah, our storyline is going to blossom if we get a second run. I mean, that's already been discussed. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. And you'll see as these episodes carry on how much influence also the music of our people, contemporary music, like both those songs following Sarah around in the last two episodes that have been on TV have Samantha Crane, who's a little songbird from Oklahoma City area, from Tulsa around there.
I love the music.
That's
I
a
love the music.
native songwriter there. She's a very popular songwriter. So to hear her music kind of attached to my daughter in the show is, I thought it's really powerful moments.
So we'll encourage as many people as we can to check you out. And here in Nebraska, at least, it's on Wednesday nights on the Sci-Fi Network. Was it 9 o'clock Central Time, Cindy?
I don't know.
She doesn't know. She's clueless.
Yeah, it is 9 o'clock Central Time.
Yeah, 9 o'clock Central on the Sci-Fi Network. And,
Now,
go ahead.
Ed, I wanted to ask, now, of course, the cyber powwow is going to need MCs still, right? Do we still got to get together for that, or?
It's out of my hands, Gary.
We're not the MCs for the cyber powwow?
I'm not in Multi anymore. They got MC who has worked cyber powwows.
Oh, we could have messed that up good.
Well,
all right.
Hey, you want me to read some comments off?
Huh?
Yeah, let's hear some comments, Kenny.
All right. Cassie was listening. She said at the beginning of it, Ed and Cindy looking good, you two, with a laughy face. Also that Denver canceled for the powwow and UNO's going virtual.
Yep, Denver March canceled already.
When you guys were talking politics, she said Ed for president and Cindy vice president, and she'll be secretary.
Oh, hell no. Cindy for president and Ed for vice president.
We got Margaret.
No, I wouldn't be on the same ticket as Cindy.
Margaret Morrison's watching, said she'll have to watch the show. Sarah's watching, said she told her about it. Then we got Donnie Bowers says, "Hi Cindy, love your show." And Cassie again with, "I like Gary's latest comments, words about Mother Earth." All right, that's a quick rundown.
Thank you. Clearly,
Gary,
people like seeing me, Ed.
You increased our ratings by tenfold, I think.
Good.
Well, we'll have to plan something to get you back here.
Yeah.
I'll start pushing Ed to fund another film festival or something.
Yeah, we'll find our time. I'm sure this year sometime, maybe by fall, everything will be good.
As soon as we all get our shots.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, thanks for checking in, and it's always good to hear from you. I wish we could see each other in person, but like you said, maybe in the fall sometime we'll be able to work something out where we can do something upright here at UNO and maybe bring the troublemakers or do something. But some of the best times we've had at UNO have involved Gary Farmer in one capacity or another, either as with the Troublemakers Film Festival or as the powwow MC. Really great having you around and feeling your influence at the university, and hopefully sometime soon we'll get back to doing that again. But in the meantime, make sure you, and I say this I don't watch a lot of TV shows because I think a lot of them aren't written very well, but this is a really well written show. The actors are top notch, and if you get a chance, check it out. And maybe we'll bring Gary back soon and talk about season 2. But Gary, any final words of wisdom for us before we check out of here?
Well, there's just so much to tell you that, also there's a new show coming on the Peacock network called Rutherford Falls. Now, this show's got like 5 native writers on it, one of which wrote an episode for Resident Alien. But it's also showrun by a young Navajo woman. You ought to have her on the show sometime, Sierra. I'll get you her information. But that's a half-hour comedy, kind of really, run by Native America. And Ed Helms is the #1 actor on that. You remember him from The Office.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a real thrust of Native energy and coming out.
Have you seen Trickster?
Yeah, I've been watching it on the CW network these last few days. I think I watched episode 4 the other night, and I thought that was entertaining. We might have Crystal on our show coming up, Crystal Lightning and Georgina.
Yeah. We had her here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was here for Film Festival. She plays the grandma on Trickster. I like it. I like that show too. It's amazing that you can watch shows with Native Americans on it.
Yeah. And then there's a brand new movie out with Michael Gray Eyes, and also that other actor I did that Montana film with. I think you've had him out to the university too, Chasky.
Chasky
Shaska,
Spencer.
yeah,
Chasky
Shaska.
Spencer and Michael got a new film called Indian. Oh my God. It's at Sundance anyway. It played, sold out 2 shows there with it. What's it called? Indian Hater or something like that. No, that's not it.
I just read that book.
It's a pretty tough story, but it was a big hit at Sundance this year, but it didn't win any awards or nothing, but something to look forward to too. So yeah, we got to get the film festival back up, and thank you for all the promotion on Resident Alien on Sci-Fi Network Wednesday nights.
Okay,
9 o'clock. Be there.
We'd be happy to, if you got any friends that want to come on a show and promote it. I'd love to talk to that Sarah Tomko. She impressed me a great deal with her acting in this series.
Yeah.
And has it replaced what's that movie you like, Better Call Saul? You like this better than Better Call Saul?
Well, I really enjoy this series. It's very clever and smart.
Yeah.
It's sarcastic humor. You gotta love it.
You gotta love it.
We'll see if Bob Odenkirk wins the award this year. He's been up for about 4 or 5 times for that show. He's never won the acting award, but the Golden Globes. So.
Gary, when you tell your friends about us, tell them that we have a vast audience and that our ratings are through the roof and just top-notch interviewing. Otherwise,
And you make me laugh.
Gary's silent.
Well, let me see what I can do about Sarah for you. I'll give her a little email and she'll respond, and I'll lead her to you.
Well,
Great, Gary, that'd be
she's
amazing.
open, like I said, I really enjoy, the role she plays, and I thought I'm very impressed with her, and her acting and what she's doing with her character. So I think she sounds very interesting, and I'd like to talk to her. But if you can set it up, great. If not, just tell her she has a fan.
Please come back anytime you want, Gary.
And just send me some of them Omaha steaks at the airport there, Ed. That'd be appreciated.
You come into town, man, I'll grill you up stuff that's even better than that.
I was just trying to think of something from Omaha. That's all I could think of, those steaks at the airport.
Well,
Oh, Omaha steaks, they are good, Gary.
once again, thanks for coming on, Gary. We'll be in touch.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks
We'll
a
see
lot.
you,
You
Gary.
guys have a good week. We will see you next week.
Actually, we're gonna finish up, wrap it up. Cindy.
Oh,
go ahead.
I thought I was done too.
Oh, you have to go to the bathroom? Look at you.
You kind of.
No, knucklehead of the week, just real quick.
Yeah, please. There may be a few, but I'll let you have this week.
No, I was reading an article just the other day, and Washington has finally gotten rid of their racist name and thought we're moving on. And the former quarterback, Joe Theismann, he's the one if any football fans out there remember, where he basically snapped his leg like a toothpick on Monday Night Football. But anyway, he says that Washington their new name should stay within the Native American family. So he wants another Indian mascot. For that, Joe Theismann gets Knucklehead of the Week.
White privilege of the week comes in for me on him too.
Well, it was great seeing Brother Gary, and
It was.
hopefully we'll be able to stay in touch with him a little bit more. Next week's show, we're going to have as our special guest Lance Morgan from Ho Chunk Inc., Winnebago Tribe.
Warhorse Casino.
We're going to talk a little gaming next week.
Ed, when we actually retire, maybe we could go down there. You could be the doorman, the greeter.
I was thinking maybe the guy that makes change. No, they don't do that anymore, do they?
They don't do that anymore.
They don't. I don't know what else I can. Ballet.
There you go. Maybe a blackjack dealer.
I don't know. I don't think I can do that either. You have to keep track of numbers and cards.
Yeah, you have to count in your head. We all know that's not happening.
I would lose them money for sure.
Also, I'll be glad when we can do this show in person again, because you get pretty lippy when I'm far enough away that I can't reach out and pop you.
That is one of the benefits of technology. So, see you next week.
See you next
Same
week.
time, Lance Moore going to be on. Kenny,
Keep
take
going. You got 3 more minutes here. For a comment, Kateri is listening in.
Hi,
so-
honey.
So good to see you
Kateri,
guys.
Sarah, everybody who's watching. Hey, and I sent an email to our friends at UP telling them about this. We've been doing some really good things with UP this year. So hopefully we'll have a representative from their Kona, their native group at UP, on one of the shows.
They need to see us first.
Cassie says thanks, Gary, for being on here, and also that she agrees on the Knucklehead of the Week.
Who is that?
That was from
Cassie.
Kathy or Cassie?
Cassie, Grandpa, Cassie.
Yeah.
Well, folks, thanks for watching us. We really appreciate it. This is mostly just fun for us. Ed, I'm so glad to be able to see you. Kenny, I haven't seen you for almost a year.
You know what we need a sponsor for?
What, makeup for me to make me look younger?
1 for makeup, 2 so that we can get 3 happiness afterwards.
I still have
That
my
is
little
true.
card.
That I think Kenny's waiting for his peanut butter chicken.
They're not open for inside seating yet.
Here we're giving them all this free advertisement. They're not even sponsoring us. But anyway, we'll see you next week. Same time, hopefully. Lance Morgan. We're going to talk some Indian gaming and maybe some
Law.
policy and that kind of fun stuff. So
So I'll just sit here and look pretty and smile.
we'll see you next week. Take us out of here, Kenny.
Bye, everybody.